Welcome back to Mammoth Mountain, California. Stop number 3 of the Bud Light American Snowboard Tour. We are into the GS competition, and our next competitor will be Nolan Wadland.
Nolan is currently in 5th place. His first run time, a 101.56.
Now everyone examines their first run, sees what they can do better in the second run. We asked Nolan that question, and he has got a definite plan for run number 2.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit more on it today. This run, it's going to be a little bit more balanced and just work it a little bit harder. First run, I was able to let it go because it is straighter, and this one I'm going to have to be right on top of it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nolan out on the course. Now this course has at least 4 delays. That's where you go around 2 gates on the same turn. You notice he just did 1. Dropping in. Delays are set up to confuse the riders, but a lot of riders actually like them more. It allows them to draw their carves out longer.
This course was set by Nolan's coach, Team Cross M manager and coach Jerry Masterpool, so they should be used to it, should know his style, but Jerry Masterpool always challenging his riders, and this looks like a very good course for them to be challenged on.
Nolan needs a 106.1 if he wants to take the lead. He's very fast through the steep section, staying right on line, staying low and smooth. This course, the snow holding up very well. Packed hard, no ruts. There are a few chatters, but no problems other than that.
Nolan Wadland crosses the line with a second run time of 105.53, which gives him a combined of 207.09. He is our new leader in the men's GS competition. While we have a break, let's go back and have a look at our women's GS highlights. Clear blue skies and perfect snow greeted the women on the first day of GS competition at Mammoth Mountain.
Lisa Kosglow, who leads the women in the Paul Mitchell Riders' Cup Alpine standings, has built a perfect record this season, winning 3 out of 3 events prior to this stop. And a repeat here in race number 1 would be enough to clinch the overall season title.
Placings are determined by the combined time of 2 runs, and if Lisa's first run, a 106.53, was any indication of things to come, she would soon be the Tour champion.
3 women pushed Kosglow into the second run: Amy Rose, Melissa Turpak, and Madeleine Hengge. All were close enough after run number 1 to take advantage of any openings.
The pressure was on as Lisa watched both Turpak and Hengge better their first run times.
Lisa's final run was not as fast as her first, but it was still the fastest second run time in the women's division. A 107.35 second run combined with her 106.53 first run would put her almost 4 seconds ahead of the nearest competitor.
Another victory for Lisa Kosglow, and the Paul Mitchell Riders' Cup Alpine title was hers, but there was still another race to be run. The Mammoth Mountain GS number 2 started a little colder. Gone was the blue sky and the sun, but the snow was still perfect.
After the first run, Lisa Kosglow would again finish on top, but the other principal players had all changed. This time, it would be Julie Zell and Stacie Hookom trying to end Lisa's 4-race winning streak.
Stacie Hookom's first run was a mere 0.07 of a second off Lisa's first run time. A bobble on her second run, however, did her in and would drop her to 3rd.
Julie Zell, 4th fastest after run number 1, would move out into 2nd with the help of a very fast second run. And Lisa Kosglow again would prove to be the fastest and most consistent female rider on the AST Tour.
I didn't exactly have the run of my life first run. I was pretty scared. A couple girls were right on my tail after the first run, so I knew second run I really had to nail one. But I know Jerry Masterpool's courses. He's a good course setter, and I've trained with him before, so I knew what sort of a course he has a tendency to set. So I felt pretty confident going into the second run, but I had to pull one.
Congratulations to Lisa Kosglow of Boise, Idaho. The streak continues, 5 out of 5 events. We go back now to the men's competition. Our next competitor will be Adam Hostetter. He is another member of the Team Cross M who made the all-night journey from Bend, Oregon. His first run time, a 1:43, something he plans on improving on.
I had a little bit of a chatter type feeling at the top of the pitch, and I think I lost a little bit there, but overall it was a decent run. Definitely looking to improve and get into the top 3 this run, though.
Come on!
Adam's going to need a 106.65 if he wants the lead spot in this second GS at Mammoth Mountain.
So Adam Hostetter, Team Cross M, next on course. He is set and he is out of the gate.
Adam staying nice and low through the flat section of the course. This is where aerodynamics are very important. He gets a little onto his heel side edge there, but that shouldn't slow him down very much. Getting into the steep, you can see Adam chattering just a little, waving his hands around, but he's staying on line, staying low, and carrying his speed.
Adam Hostetter, one of the most full tilt racers on the tour. A few years ago, he had to spend several stops racing with a big cast on his hand, which really threw his balance off, but today he looks very smoothly.
This is going to be a fast time for Adam Hostetter.
He picks up a 104.89 combined 205.32. Adam Hostetter is our new leader on this GS course. So as we go to our updated current standings, it's Hostetter atop the leaderboard, then Nolan Wadland, Jeremy Jones, Mike Kildevaeld, and Nate Sims in fifth. Up next, quite possibly the best racer in all of North America, it's Mark Fawcett, last year's National Alpine Champion, will have his run after this. Welcome back to Mammoth Mountain, California. Stop number 3 of the Bud Light American Snowboard Tour. Our next competitor, Mark Fawcett.
Mark likes the fact that the course has been completely reset for run number 2.
I think having 2 different courses a day is a great thing. The people that are good at gliding and pointing out a straight line put in some smokers this morning, and this afternoon it's made for turners, so the best overall should win it.
Mark currently 6th in the 3rd position. First run time, 1 minute .34 lead. He needs a 104.97 to take the lead.
You can tell just by talking to Mark Fawcett that he's extremely serious about this run. It's a tighter course, it's much more technical, and it's the kind of course that Mark Fawcett excels on.
This is Mark Fawcett making his way down the hill. Right there, slides out on his toe side, but bounces right back up. One of the strongest competitors on the tour. And Lee, it's a safe bet you'll see Mark Fawcett in Nagano, Japan next year.
If he keeps riding the way he's been riding this season, he will definitely be on the Canadian National Olympic team. But right here at Mammoth Mountain, Mark Fawcett letting it all fly. Sometimes it looks like he's a little out of control, but that's because he is going all out in this second run. He knows he has to turn it all the way up if he expects to beat Jasey J. Anderson's time.
Well, he needed a 104.97, and he did better than that. He got a 102.96. for a combined of 203.30. He is our new leader, and Lee, that was the fastest time of the second round despite that mistake at the top.
Mark Fawcett got onto his toe side edge just a little too much, touched his face down all the way laid out, but he didn't lose very much speed at all, and in fact his time shows that.
Well, you look at his form right there, Lee. He is so low to the ground, he just drags a hand along for balance, and he's back on the other rail.
Picture-perfect commitment. Mark Fawcett committing to his line and prevailing.
Up next, we'll get a look at 2 of the U.S. national team members, Anton, Pogue, and Rob Berney. But let's take a look at our other GS race held here at Fascination. The men, like the women, also got a chance to enjoy the sun at Mammoth Mountain's first GS race.
Coming into this event, Peter Thorndike controlled the top position in the men's Paul Mitchell Riders' Cup standing, and only 2 others from the top 5 had come to compete. Eric Baldwin in 5th and Jeff Archibald in 3rd, both of whom would undoubtedly benefit from the absence of 2nd place Travis McLean and Matt Morency, currently in 4th.
Run number 1 would put Jeff Archibald on top, but less than a second separated him from Peter Thorndike.
Running in reverse order for run number 2, Jeff Archibald would watch as Peter Thorndike left the start gate. Little did Jeff know that Peter was on his way to clocking the fastest time of the day, a 101.91.
Jeff Archibald would need a 102.85 to win. His time, 102.46. Archibald would win by 0.14 of a second.
Yeah, we've been training super turning courses all week and with lots of ruts and bumps, and then we came here and it was just a big step easier, you know, way easier.
Peter Thorndike's second place would keep him on top of the Paul Mitchell standings.
Yeah, I'm planning on hanging on to the Paul Mitchell Riders Cup jersey, hopefully for a while, hopefully till Mount Snow. I just need to be smooth and consistent and solid till the race tomorrow. You know, top 5 finish ahead of Jeff somewhere. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can do it.
We are back to our GS competition. Next up, U.S. team member Anton Pogue.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Anton Pogue on course. His first run time was a 101.60, putting him in 6th position. That means he's going to have to turn it up again and turn in a 101.69. So if he can double his effort, he'll be right in there. Remember, though, this course is much more technical.
Anton Pogue making his way down through Fascination, a very steep course, as we pointed out earlier. A lot of riders having problems in this section, and Anton Pogue is down, and he goes right through the gate, Lee. It looks like he may be done.
Anton Pogue hiking back up. He's still in it. Now his time's going to be very slow, but this still could keep him in a top spot. We'll have to see what happens when he gets to the finish line.
So Anton Pogue is up and riding once again after going down, similar to the spot where Mark Fawcett went down. Mark Fawcett was able to recover rather quickly. Anton Pogue now up to speed again as he crosses the finish line here. And the official results for Anton Pogue, Lee, a DQ. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll ride Mammoth Mount with Paul Mitchell points leader Lisa Kosglow. Accommodations provided by the Shiloh Inn, Mammoth Lakes, California.
Hi, my name is Lisa Kosglow. I'm here at Mammoth Mountain, one of the premier resorts in California, if not the United States. Let's go check it out. Well, Mammoth's a great mountain, mainly because of the diverse terrain that's here. There's a great snowboard park. There are a lot of nice rolling groomers, some good intermediate trails. But what really makes Mammoth unique is the extreme terrain that's here, that's all lift accessible. You have the gondola that accesses the whole top of the mountain, and there's all kinds of chutes and steeps that are really stand alone as far as in-resort riding.
We are back to the men's GS competition here at Fascination. Our next competitor out of the gate will be Rob Berney from Whitefish, Montana.
Rob Berney, one of the national team members that's here racing at Mammoth. He is currently in 2nd place after the first run with a time of 1 minute, 0.02 seconds.
Our current standings look like this. It's Mark Fawcett out in front, then it's Adam Hostetter, Nolan Wadland, Jeremy Jones, and Mike Kildevaeld round out the top 5. But this is Rob Berney, Whitefish, Montana's favorite son, and he is out of the gate.
Rob staying extremely low in the flat portion of the upper course. Remember, he needs a 103.27 to take the lead in today's GS. Rob just rocketing. Notice how he commits to the edge and rides it all the way through the turn.
Similar aggressive style as Mark Fawcett, very forward, very fast, and he stays very low.
These guys are not racing for 3rd place. In this kind of snowboard racing, you have to go all out, throw it all down if you expect to do well.
Rob Berney having a bit of problem right there on that last delay. He makes it around the gate, and he still comes across the finish line a little later than he thought. A 106.20 for a combined of 206.22. Lee, that would have been interesting to see what he would have pulled off if he hadn't had those last 2 sketches.
Rob having a perfect run all the way. I think what happened is he mentally crossed the finish line before his board did. You see him looking for the finish line. He hooks up a little on the toe side edge and rockets all the way out of the course. He's able to pull it back together, but that ends a perfect run for Rob Berney.
So we are down to our final competitor, and he is a fast one. It's Jasey J. Anderson from Val-Morin, Quebec, Canada, and this guy in the last 2 or 3 years has really come on strong.
Jasey J. Anderson, the only rider to break the 1 minute mark in the first run, and he has plans to do the same thing in the second.
Definitely be smooth, you know. I had the good idea in the first course, and I'll carry it on to the second course. It is quite technical, and I'll just have to charge it completely.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Jasey Anderson on course, staying low. A lot of these guys standing up between gates, and that can slow you down. When we're talking about hundreds of seconds separating the first 3 places, you've got to be clean on your line all the way through the flat section so you can carry speed into the steeps.
Well, Jasey J. Anderson, as we pointed out, has been coming on strong the last few years, but Mark Fawcett is atop the leaderboard, something he's very accustomed to, Lee, and he is going all out.
Jasey Anderson laying it down, committing to that edge on every single turn. Notice how flat he gets on the heel sides, almost laying down on the snow.
Remember, he needs a 103.72 to overtake teammate and fellow Canadian Mark Fawcett.
And Jasey J. Anderson does it, a 103.00. That means he is the champion in today's Mammoth Mountain Giant Slalom.
Jasey J. Anderson's combined time, 202.57. He beats teammate and fellow Canadian Mark Fawcett by 72 hundredths of a second, very close. That is a good shot of the Team Cross M. They drive all night and go 1, 2, 3. We'll be back after this. The Bud Light American Snowboard Tour has been brought to you by Bud Light. Make it a Bud Light. And by Paul Mitchell Professional Salon Hair Care Products. Welcome back to Mammoth Mountain, California. Stop number 3 of the 1997 Bud Light American Snowboard Tour, the Chevy S10 Pickup Mammoth Mountain Open. It's Adam Hostetter in 3rd, Mark Fawcett in 2nd, and that means the man of the day, Jasey J. Anderson, takes 1st.
The Cross M team exerting its power. They drive all night, they show up, and they take the top 3 spots. Jasey J. Anderson, the fastest first run time, the second fastest second run time, but he pulls it off, pulls it together, and takes the win.
Our giant slalom results look like this. Jasey J. Anderson from Canada first, followed by Mark Fawcett, Adam Hostetter, Rob Berney, and Nolan Wadland. We also want to check in on the Paul Mitchell $27,000 Riders' Cup standings. Our leader maintains it's still Peter Thorndike, Jeff Archibald, Travis McLean, Eric Baldwin, and Nate Sims. Let's go down to Lee Crane, who's got our winner.
Todd, Jasey J. Anderson had the fastest time in the first run. He was able to hold off Mark Fawcett in run number 2 and win the Mammoth Giant Slalom. Jasey, were you worried when you saw Mark have a really clean run before you went?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, when Mark has a clean run, everybody gets worried. Actually, everybody tucks their tail and goes home. Yeah, I mean, Mark's a threat and a big one, so yeah, I'm glad I could take him today.
You had a really solid run, clean lines. How do you hang on when you're going so fast through those tight ones at the top of this steep section?
Oh, years of training. Yeah, no, just stay aggressive and keep it smooth, you know, so you can keep a clean line, and yeah, just really be aggressive.
Jasey Anderson proving that aggression pays off here at Mammoth, the winner of today's Giant Slalom race. Todd, back to you.
Thank you, Lee, and that will conclude stop number 3 of the 1997 Bud Light American Snowboard Tour, the Chevy S10 Pickup Mammoth Mountain Open. Congratulations to our winners, Jasey J. Anderson for the men and Lisa Kosglow for the women. Our next stop, June Mountain, California. Check your local listings for Lee Crane. I'm Todd Harris. We'll see you next time right here on ESPN.